Hi everyone. So today in our tutorial we are going to actually create a floating action menu on a mobile screen using interactive components, and this is the menu itself. When I click on it, it opens like that, and when I hit it again, it's gonna close like that, just kind of like jump into the right side and fold back behind the floating action button. Okay, actually the menu button, or call it as you want. Again, we see also the icon animation here, which we will create as well. And again, clicking on it when I am on a computer screen. On a mobile, of course, I'm gonna tap on it. So clicking on it again, I see it opening like that, and hit this button again, it folds back behind this button. Okay, great, looking good. And let's get to it. So the only thing which I actually kind of like brought in advanced into this file, which I am not going to create right now, is the this navigation bar, which I made before, and these icons, which I don't want to waste time right now in this tutorial to create them, because we are focusing on something else here, on the interactive component and the animation. Okay, so let's start creating, and I will take a frame which I will make 60 by 60. I'll give it a background, give it a 30 pixels round corner radius, just to make it a circle. And to this frame, I will add, I'm going to work with rectangles in order to animate this icon. Just for you to know is that Figma doesn't animate very well strokes. That's why I'm not working with strokes. But anyway, I think that working with rectangles on this matter works great. So we will make it something like that. I will give it a dark color, something like that. And I will, sorry, not that, I wanted to duplicate this rectangle. And yeah, we are doing good. Oh, sorry. Let's see, that sits in the middle, and that's good. Okay, yeah, we have an icon and we are good to go with this one. Let me make sure they do sit in the middle. Yeah, I saw that something doesn't add up there exactly. You know what, let me also kind of like adjust the shape of this menu icon and do it something like that, which looks better. I like it better. Okay, good. So we have a menu icon. I can actually now, what the hell am I doing? I can actually take it here, and you know what? Let's also give it a shadow. Let me see. I'm checking here just how it looks. Let me give it a shadow and make it like 30%. Bring up the blur a bit. Yeah, I think that this one looks better. Let me see. Yeah, that's good. So I'm gonna take it outside, and what I'm gonna do now is actually um, let me create it. Let me make it a component. 1 second. This is fab. I'll call it ham. That is a shortcut of a hamburger, and this one I'm gonna call it X. Okay, and I'm gonna make this one actually okay, so see, now look at what I do here. I'm going to make this one in a 0 opacity. Okay, this one I will compare to the other one. I'm gonna rotate them in a, let me see how it goes, not like that. I wanna have it in a, sorry, in a minus 45, and this one is going to be 45. Good, something like that. And they will both become something like that. And you see the middle one actually is on opacity 0, and that's supposed to give us the perfect animation of this icon. I'm gonna combine them as create component set. By the way, if you're not familiar with components and variants, I strongly suggest that you will see other tutorials in this channel, which I have on variants, components, and so on, maybe just to understand it better. Okay, in case you don't. If you do, great. Okay, so that is our menu icon. By the way, okay, we'll animate it when we'll create the whole. And another thing that I want to do actually is I'm gonna put all these three on a scale mode on constraints, and I want to make it a bit smaller when it opens. Yeah, that is good. Yeah. Okay, I like it like that. This is great. I think that this is the way I did it there as well. Yeah, something like that. Okay, good. Now we will take these three icons. I'm gonna call it this one. It's gonna be icons image. We can even call it, just to make it more clear, I'm gonna call it menu icons, and that will be an image. I'm gonna copy it, and this one is going to be menu icons camera, and this one actually is going to be the edit or write or post or whatever, doesn't really matter, honestly, doesn't matter right now. And I will combine them as variants as well. So these are the menu icons, and we have all these three icons here: image, camera, and edit. Okay, looking good. Now I will do the, let's do a circle. I'm working in a jungle here a bit, but in a jungle mode, but that's okay. Something like that. No, I want to make this one 68 as well, because I do want a rectangle, and I do want to make it uh, like that. Oh, not like that, because that 68, 30 is not enough. I'm gonna give it 840. I'm just thinking if this is the size that I want when the menu opens. But I guess, yeah, that's okay. We don't have to be super precise here. I think that the main thing here is just to understand the logic and the animation and how to build it, and that's okay. So yeah, I'm gonna do something like that, and I will also add a circle inside it that looks like that. Yeah, that's good. I'm gonna give it a dark color, and by the way, let me see. Yeah, it's good. And I'm gonna place an icon just here. Okay, I took a duplicate of one of these icons, which I can here use any one of them that I want. Okay, this is how the variants work. And again, if you're not so familiar with it, then I strongly suggest that you see my other tutorials to get a better knowledge of how to work with variants. Okay, so that is going to be the menu item, which is good, and I'm gonna stretch it like that. Let me see how it sits here. Yeah, I think that's okay. No, you know what? I think that because the button is a 60, then I think that I will make this one. Let me make them all a bit smaller. That's gonna be something like that. And yeah, I'm gonna just to adjust it. I will fix the icon now, and let me see this one. Sorry, this one I'm gonna make it a, let's say, a height of 61. No, I'm gonna make it a height of 56. Yeah, that is good actually. That is good. Let me just make it precise. Give me just a sec here. Bear with me for a sec. I'm gonna fix it and make it look good and do something like that. Yeah, this is good. Yeah, it has a bit of a thinner frame around it, but that's okay. Yeah, okay, great. Now that looks good. And that can easily come behind this one. And I'm gonna open it and we'll make it a menu item. It doesn't really matter, honestly, what's the text here. Let's just write here menu item. Okay, it really doesn't matter. Let's call it like, you know what, write something. Okay, this is one. Um, you know what, that's going to be a menu item because I'm going to use it as a component, and that is fine. So that's going to be a component actually, which I'm going to take and make it in an auto layout. Sorry, not this one. This is going to be in their own frame, and this is the icon. Okay, and now I will make it an auto layout, and I will fix it now. Auto layout, and this is going to be in the middle. I'm going to give it a fixed width and not in a hug contents mode. And I think that, yeah, that's pretty much it for this one. Yeah, even make it a bit longer, something like that. Okay, cool. And this is another component that we will use. So that's going to be here. So we have actually our menu item. We have our floating button. We're going to give this one a shadow as well. Let's give it a 30. It's going to be sitting on a darker background, so it's going to be okay. We'll give it kind of like an 8 like we gave these ones, and I guess that's gonna be pretty cool. Okay, great. Now let's start building our interactive components. So one thing to put in mind is when we create an animation with interactive component is that you need to frame all the area of the animation, because if not, it's gonna have kind of like funny jumps. It's gonna jump because, sorry, I'll explain that. The default position of any element in an animation is always top left. So let's say if I take an image, I take an item like that and take another big one, it will always in the animation jump to the top left of the whole animation area. So when I frame all the area of the animation, all the animation happens inside this frame, inside this area, and I'm not going to have any kind of like funny unexpected jumps. Okay, so I am going to make an area of animation which will be something like that. We can adjust it actually when we start using it in our screen. Something like that. I think that looks pretty okay. Yeah, let's kind of like center it, and good. So I'm gonna take it here. I will copy and paste to replace and put it here. Okay, we can put it here and here. It doesn't really matter that much for now, but that's okay. Okay, now we will take this duplication of this component, and we will just close it like that. Now notice that any component, it doesn't matter if it's an auto layout, no auto layout, any component is a frame. Now we have a clip content on that frame, on this frame. So what I can easily do is just, if I want in the animation, and this is what I will do, of course, this is what I want. Yes, that's exactly what I want. So I'm going to just close it like that. Okay, so this is actually the animation that we will create in these items. Pretty easy, right? Okay, so what we'll do now is I'm gonna just do all three of them. Okay, I already see that we need to make our frame a bit higher. So let's make it higher to have some more space for the animation. And this is the first one, and I will write here, write something. It's just, of course, an imaginary app. Yeah, don't take me that seriously. I mean, it's just it's just something I'm playing with. So let's do it something like that. Let's give it to be more precise, like 225, and we will give these ones also 225, and that will be also 225, just to remember it for now. And here I can just change the icon, and I will give it a camera icon. Take take a photo. Let's say take a photo, and this one actually I will select the image and say from your gallery. Okay, cool. So we have it ready, and let me just see that they all fit right. We will have them something like that, kind of like something like that. No, you stay in your place, and I want just the third one. Okay, cool. And this is the frame that holds it. We will call it, sorry, not this one. I will call it a frame, menu. Let's call it a menu animation, and that's going to be collapsed. Okay, good. So this is the first one, and I'm gonna have it collapsed soon. I will show you, because for me right now, sometimes I just already see the end position. So that's kind of like easier to animate when you already get to understand the final position of your animation. So I can just put it here for now, and put this one here, and that will be let's say you know what, this is going to be first of all, they're going to open, then we'll have the first one. I'm taking it kind of like backwards. You know what, it doesn't matter, let's do the first one. This is be easier. Okay, so this is the first one actually, and on the first one, no, this is not collapsed. This is kind of opened. This is like the final position. So that's not collapsed. This is actually expanded. Yeah, let's be more precise here with the names. And this one is the collapsed. Okay, good. So now I can easily, you see, if I see that the height is 56, if I will do the width of it 56, then I will get this three circles, 56. Good. Now I will just align them here. And I want, let's say, okay, I want the fob actually on top of them. Here, by the way, I will put it on top of them as well. Let me just arrange my layers. Yeah, so this is the way it's going to be. And of course, all three of them will be behind the fob. Good. So they will be behind it. Good. And I will make their shadows in a zero opacity in order for us not to have this kind of, you see, when we have the shadows of all three of them, it looks too dark and harsh, and that is not what we want. So let's adjust it to 0. Okay, good. So this is actually our first position. Okay. And here, by the way, another thing that I forgot to do, and I will do it now, I'm going to switch to this variant. Okay. So this is going to be, but sorry. Let me, but if it's aligned to here, it shouldn't jump. Supposed to be something like that. Okay, I will adjust it. We will see the animation. I will adjust it accordingly, and that's okay. So this is actually our first position. Good. The second position, or the second state actually that we will have, is, let's say, buttons up. Buttons up, that means that, second, let me close these layers here a bit. Okay, buttons up, and okay, so they go up. And let me see which one. I didn't write their names actually, but let me see which is which. This is the image. I want the edit actually first. So that's the camera. Good. So now, yeah, I mean, working better, I need to actually write their names so it will be easier to understand. Now, anyway, that's okay. Let me distribute them precisely. Okay, good. So this is actually the second state. So first state, we have the floating button. All these three are behind it. Second state of our interactive component, which will be soon. I'm just actually doing the frames, the states of it. I didn't just combine them as variants yet, but I will. It doesn't really matter right now. So I'm having all the three getting opened up to here, one after the other, and I'm gonna bring them back their shadows. Let's give him 30%. I'm thinking, by the way, okay, that was the third, that was the second. Let's call it a, you know what? Live with the names now. No problem. We will do it. I think it will be okay. And actually, you know what? I'm gonna do this state later. Yeah, I guess, you know what, because I wanna have them precise in the same height and position. So I'm gonna delete that. Another thing that happens here is I'm gonna change to this one. Okay, I wanna have this button, the smaller version, and with the X icon, that we will have this animation, and that is okay. Cool. Okay, so now actually it becomes easier. It becomes easier because now I'm gonna duplicate this frame, which is actually our next state, and I'm gonna place them each one according to his position when he needs to get into that position. Okay, so I'm gonna work with the X on the horizontal, sorry, position. This one, I guess, is going to be, let me see, something around, yeah, I guess that 90, I think, is okay. Let me see. And we'll give it a width of 225 as we decided, and from your gallery. So that is the first one. Okay, good. And now we're gonna duplicate this state and do the exact same thing with the second one. I'm gonna place it on a 75x horizontal position. I'm just doing jumps by 15. It doesn't really matter. I mean, you can do in your when you're designing it, you can do whatever you want. I'm just giving you an example of mine. It doesn't really matter. The logic of the animation doesn't change anyway. You can do whatever you want. And this one is going to be our third. So if that was a 90, that was 75, this will be 60. So that will be here. And this will also be 225. Okay, cool. So now actually, let's take a look of what happened here. So that was our first position. We have the floating button here, and all these three actually are collapsed behind it. And here we have the buttons up. I didn't change their names. I will, by the way. Buttons up, and all these three buttons are opened here. Now we have the first one open, second one open, and third one. So this actually we can call one open. Yeah, I'm just giving it kind of like a not a very smart name, but anyway, as long as it's understandable. And this is two open, and that is a three open. Okay, opened actually. That doesn't matter. That's okay. Okay, so now we have the menu already ready for actually for a close up or for kind of like a test drive. Let's put it like that. And let's combine them as variants. What we need to do actually is from this one actually yeah, from this one, when I hit the X button, I want all three of them to come back to this, and the X will take us to here. Yes, actually, yeah, that's okay. Good. So let's combine them as variants. Okay. We have all these frames selected now, and I'm gonna hit the create component set, and now we have our component ready to go. So let's see how we are doing this. So this button, I'm selecting the button itself. I'm gonna go into prototype mode, and I'm gonna drag this arrow to this frame. And now on click, yes, by the way, on click it shows because it indicates me that this is not in a mobile mockup. Okay, I'm going to go here to show prototype settings. I mean, I don't have to, it's only if I want to, but usually I want. And then I'm going to select this iPhone 11 Pro, which it doesn't really matter that it's an iPhone or whatever. What the only thing that matters actually is the width of the frame, which is 375. Okay, so from the button, we went here and on tap. Now it's on tap. Change to. Let's, of course, select a smart animate. We'll give it, yeah, I think the 250 milliseconds is actually pretty great. Ease out. I'm going to play with the easing after we'll see that it's all working smooth. Now from here, from this one, now I want all the opening of this menu one after the other. connected with an after delay because I don't want to hit anything or to click anything on these variants in order for it to work as it should. Okay, so from this one, it's gonna go here with an after delay. After delay, we'll give it a no delay. You know what? After it opens, let's give it kind of like 100 milliseconds delay, and let's see how it looks. We will decide as we go. Yeah, 250 milliseconds. Let's see if to adjust it, make it faster, make it slower. We will see how it goes. And we can do the same here. Choose an after delay. Give it a 0, which will always give me a 1 because you cannot have a 0, but 1 milliseconds is kind of like 0. And so from here, I think, yeah, I don't want any delay between them. And after delay, no delay, and let's give it a test drive and see how it works before we make the closing of that menu, the closing animation of that menu. Paste to replace, and I will place it as it should be. I will take it up and take it a bit here, and yep, I think that's ready to go. Okay, so let's see how it goes. I will give it a play. Dun, da, da, da. Okay. Okay, there we go. It works perfect. Okay, I didn't do the closing animation yet, so we can't close it. Let's do it right now. And this button now is gonna bring us straight back to here because I want the closing animation of them. And from here, actually, no, you know what? If I want, when I hit it, it's gonna, no, that's not good, sorry. I'm gonna duplicate this one. Yeah. I need to duplicate this state because, and I'll explain why. Because when I hit this button, I want it to go back to a state which is exactly like this. But from this state, I want with an after delay that it will go back to this state. I can't do an after delay to here and to here as well. So it's not going to work. So of course I'm going to have to duplicate this state and I'll put it here. I will take this after delay and connect it back to here. So this is the loop that we are creating here, and that's okay. This is a variant 6. Let's give it kind of like a normal name. Variant 6, we're gonna let's call it a way back. I'm gonna call it a way back because this is our way back to the first state. Of course, it's just a joke. I mean, you can call it whatever you want. It doesn't really matter as long as you understand the logic of the names you give it and the way that you are creating it. Now, this button, of course, is gonna go through this state. Let's give it a 250 milliseconds. Let's give it a 300. Give it just a bit more, kind of like a touch, a small touch more. I think it's going to be okay. Let's see how it works. And with a smart animate, it's going to go back to here. And this one already with an after delay, 100 milliseconds. No, I think we don't need a delay here, but let's see how it works. And let's go back here and okay, that's too fast. You see, now we can adjust it. So the opening actually works great. And this one is too fast. And I see that I do, well, we'll close the first one. This is the one that we are working on. So actually, I see that I do want a delay when it comes here. So let's give it 100 milliseconds of a delay. Let's see how it works now. Okay, so that's the way it opens, and yeah, that is definitely better. And actually, I will give it 150, and I'm gonna make it kind of like more jumpy, as I said. Okay, this one works actually pretty good. Okay, now to make this jumpy animation, okay, kind of, I think I'm gonna try and give it the ease out back. Let's see how it works. The ease out back, actually what it does is that it reaches the end position of the animation, and then it kind of like takes a few steps more. I mean, it moves more to the other direction and goes back, so it gives it kind of like an elastic behavior. Okay, kind of like a jumpy elastic behavior. So this is the effect that I want to achieve here. Let's see if it works good. Yeah, so it did it okay. I think the ease out back works pretty nice. Let's give it even a bit more, a bit like a 360, kind of, I think. Let me see. So that's is the animation. Good. Okay, good. Now, if I want this jumpy animation, even when it hits here, I can do actually the same. I can give it a ease out back, and when it folds back, the buttons, when they fold back to here, so you will see them kind of like bumping from the bottom here, from below the from below the button. You will see it now. You know what? Let me even give it kind of like an exaggerated. Um, you know what? Let's see how it works. 1 second. This is like this. Yeah, you saw that. Let me give it a more, let me give it a 500 milliseconds. I'm kind of like exaggerating on purpose for you guys to see it. So check out what happens here on the button. Okay, because what happens is that these buttons, they fold in behind this one. And then, as I said, because it's an ease out back, then it moves a bit more than they should with an elastic behavior, and then goes back into their position. Let me even do it, give it like 1 second, okay? Really slow, just for you guys to see exactly and understand how it behaves. So that is the opening, and you see? That's what happens when I do. So sometimes, I mean, of course, here it's not the right way to use it, but if I see it now, it's, yeah, that's what it does. So we don't want that. We'll give it an ease out, and that is great. We'll give it a, yeah, let's bring it back to 300. I think it worked actually pretty good. So we have the opening like this, and poo. Now this kind of like small jump that you see here on the X, if you notice, you see it's kind of like dancing here. So it's let's give it if I'll give it 100%, I think it will render it better. Let me see. Yeah, it's kind of like, kind of, yeah, it's just kind of like a rendering problem. It's not that we did something wrong, because actually in all these states the X button stays exactly on its place. So sometimes it shows it kind of like in a bit of a funny way. It renders it a bit funny, and it has these small little jumps, but again, it's just rendering problems. It's nothing we did wrong, or not the way that it should work. So yeah, I guess that's pretty much it, guys. Fit to screen. Let's see our beautiful animation again. So we're opening it, and it closes perfect. And that's about it, guys. That's it. And you know what? Maybe I'll even, should I share this file? Yeah, that's, why not? That is a great. I will share a file. Yeah, I will put a file in the video description that you can download it and have it and try it and see exactly how it's hooked up and how it's built and so on. So, thank you very much, guys. If you like this tutorial, I would be happy for a like and, of course, subscribe to my channel and more pretty cool tutorials are coming up as we yeah, I'm just thinking about it. Yeah, but I'm gonna do some pretty cool tutorials. I mean, I have a few in my mind which will come out pretty soon. So that's it, guys. Thank you so much and see you in the next tutorial. Bye for now. Thank you.